Welcome back to the Wilson Brothers. I'm David. This is Isaac. Today we are reacting to a very serious Jordan Peterson short where he talks about why do men even want to wake up in the morning? Why do we want to be in 100%? So don't forget to like and subscribe because we're coming out with videos Monday through Friday and you don't want to miss a thing. So
obviously this is a very intense video that we're about to watch. So I would encourage you to really pay attention to what Jordan Peterson has to say. Even if you hate him, we want to hear your comments below about what your thoughts are around surrounding the content we're about to watch.
Running at 40%, most of us, because we're half in and half out. And it's not surprising because life is difficult. It's like, well, what if you were 90% in or 95% in or all in? Because you're all in anyways, right? It's a life and death game. No one gets out of this. Everyone dies. You might as well commit yourself. And you might as well commit yourself to the highest good that you can attain, because why not? It'll imbue your life with meaning. It's hard. The responsibility is there, but all the meaning's in the responsibility. And that'll make your life better. It'll make your family's life better. And it should make your culture better. Maybe make the world better. It's like, that'll justify your damn miserable existence at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're wondering what the hell you're doing here. And that's a good thing, because there's going to be days when you're aching and tired and sore, and there's people in your family that are sick, and you're cynical and bitter, and you need a reason to get up, and you think, yeah, well, a little more heaven and a little less hell, maybe I can pull that off today and tomorrow and next week. And that's worth struggling forward for.
wow.
That's moving.
Why do we get up in the morning? Why do we do anything?
Well, he starts out the video with the 40% rule, which is a Navy SEAL methodology, saying that when you're at your peak of your pain, let's say you're in the gym, or when you're doing a business venture,
or even mental
fortitude, 40% is actually when you're about to suffer or you're feeling like you want to give up. You're only at 40% of your potential.
Yeah,
40% of what actually can you do. And I think Western society has crippled men to such an extent of saying, no, you don't actually have to push through. You don't have to do what's necessary to not only provide for your family, but to live a happy and prolonged life. And that starts with, number one, humility. It starts with what he's talking about in the midst of aching and suffering, where every man out there can agree with me that when you're in those seasons of pain and suffering, you don't feel like getting up out of bed. You don't feel like telling your wife that you love her. You don't feel like holding your kid late at night and telling them that you love them when you tuck them into their bed. You don't feel like doing anything. But if you live by your feelings, you will be subject to all of the misery that comes with you not pushing into the destiny God has intended you to be. That is the essence of what he's saying. You cannot live by your feelings. If you do, you will die a lonely, painful death. Because men, it's time to wake up. Everybody knows that what Jordan Peterson is saying, you could hear it in his voice. You can hear the pain, the struggle. Do you think he's not been through hell? Half the population in America hates this guy.
Well, even the world.
Yeah,
they
hate this
guy.
My
biggest fear in life is not death. My biggest fear in life is living and regretting everything I did in life because I didn't do anything. I didn't push myself to what I could become. I didn't go out there and challenge and take on the world and try to make a difference in this world. So many people, we just, myself included, I've done this. We clock in at our 9 to 5, we go home, we say night to our family, boom, and then we wake up every single day without purpose. We have no purpose because we're 50% in. It's about, what can I do that makes a difference in life and in my family's life? How can I push forward? How can I be the best version of myself so that when I'm 80 years old, I have family around me and I know I did everything I could have. I left every single thing on the table. And for so much of my life, I'm 31 years old now. I wasted so much time of my life because I allowed fear and I allowed all these things to control me. And now that I'm 31, in the last year, I finally woke up. I literally felt like I came out of a fog and I'm like, now I know what I'm supposed to do. And it took 30 years for me to realize what I want to do. I want to create content for the world to see. I'm a filmmaker. I spent 10 years creating films I have no passion for.
Yeah.
But now I finally know what I'm going to do. And that gives me purpose. I can be up at 3 a.m. in the morning, but I'm still excited to wake up. I'm like, next day is the next day. I'm going to take it on. I'm going to become better. And so men out there, it's time for you to start thinking every single day, how can I become better? How can I be all in? How can I change the world? How can I do these things? And maybe this is idealistic. Maybe I'm thinking so bigger than some people out there, but we want to challenge you to be better, because what he's saying is stop being in and out, always tiptoeing in and out. Okay, now I'm going to go in, now I'm going to go out. You need to have purpose in your life. And that's what we're trying to do, is push you to have purpose.
What gives you meaning and purpose in life?
One, family, very important.
Is that
Having
the corner?
family.
Is that the cornerstone?
The cornerstone of my family is what motivates me to do everything else. So for single people out there, I feel for you, because I know that you don't have a lot of that family to back you up. You might have good, parents and siblings. That's great.
For single people, let me speak to that because I'm single.
Exactly.
Single men, right? What gets me passionate and motivated in my life? What gives me purpose? It's seeing what my brother has, right? Seeing the family dynamic that he has, his little girl that runs around that is so full of life and love and joy. That only came because he made intentional decisions earlier in life, regardless of the setbacks, pain, struggle. He decided to do things the right way. He met a girl. He didn't go into the hookup culture. He didn't go to the bar scene. He didn't go on the dating apps and swipe, hoping to get some type of, release in his brain of dopaminergic BS to try to fit in with what society's telling him he should be as a man. He decided to say, I'm going to find one woman that I love and cherish. Yes, it's not like that for every man. We're not saying this is the magic formula, but the mindset that he had as my brother was, he said, I'm going to build a family unit based off traditional values that say, I'm not going to sleep around. I'm going to have sexual discipline, which is a result of having discipline in every other area of your life. And for me as a single man, I say, I want to aspire to that nuclear family structure, because you cannot take your possessions with you when you die. You can't take your friends, you can't take your money, your cars, your house, but you can have all of your loved ones around your bed, your deathbed, crying with you, holding your hand, telling you all the memories that you had when you were younger together, when you were sitting around the dinner table, telling stories of past times where you got to hold your daughter in times when she was crying on your shoulder, when she didn't know what to do, she couldn't emotionally stabilize. Those are the moments that men have forgotten in Western society. It's not being preached on these podcasts by the red pill space, by Fresh and Fit. They're not teaching traditional values of men because they believe the sexual marketplace dictates how you should act as a man. I actually revert to the opposite. If you're countercultural as a single man and you set the standard, then other men will follow you. That is the way that we're doing this channel. We will not subscribe to sexual deviancy and promiscuity as a result of being disciplined in other areas. We will set the standard. We will call men to a higher standard of not just being in singleness, but prescribing towards the idea of a nuclear family. And that's what I think as a single man.
It's very important too, as a married man, is to become the best person you can be before you get married. Because when you are married, every single part of you that is broken, that is unfixed, that is...
You can't hide it.
You can't hide it. Every single part. If you're struggling with porn, don't think when you get married it's going to get better. It gets worse. And I know that from personal experience. And so what you need to do is, as a single person, in my opinion, because I've been married so long, is to become the best version of yourself. And then when you are married, you have something to fight for. That's the most valuable thing I've learned from being...
What are some keys that you have done as when you were single to prepare yourself for marriage?
Well, I'm going to be honest. The one thing I did was I did hold off of, I was a virgin when I got married, because that was very important.
That's actually very important, man. Just because even if you're not a virgin, doesn't matter. You can come back to that standard of saying, I'm waiting.
So, but yeah, even then I was, for those that are not virgins, is being patient with your woman. Don't push her into, we have to have sex right now, a year before you even want to get married in order to just please yourself or because you need to have that. But beyond that, what you need to do to prepare is to become the best version of yourself and to become disciplined in every area of your life.
Disciplines such as?
Discipline as in doing things that are difficult. The first year of our marriage was great. The second year was hell.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I allowed everything in my life to completely control me and push me down. And I would sit on the couch and I had a little side job that was barely paying the bills. And I would just be watching Netflix on my couch all day. And my wife is walking around and like, what is he doing?
Basically
so
a zombie.
You know what my wife had to do? She had to get other side jobs because I was a bum. I was an absolute
So
bum.
if you could, so how old were you when this happened?
Well, I got married when I was 22.
So if you could speak to your 22-year-old self, for the men out there that are single, maybe newly married, that are going through something similar to what you're going through, what would your advice be to your younger self?
Don't let yourself sit in pity. Don't pity yourself.
Don't wallow in self-pity.
Don't wallow in self-pity. Every day, wake up and move towards something. I could have done something as simple as got a bartending job and our finances would have been okay. When we got married, I had $200 in my bank account because 8 months, well, we were engaged for 9 months. So 7 months before we got married, I got laid off. So my wife and I, we decided to start creating our own business, which is great, but it takes time to build a business.
Startups are not easy.
Film and photography. But that didn't take much of my time. I was subcontracting for a TV station as well, but it was paying very little, and I was not grinding. I was barely going to the gym. I gained 50 pounds in that second year. I gained 50 pounds.
You were a couch potato.
I was a couch potato, and I was doing absolutely nothing. I was not in or out. I was just in that middle area of just
You're
not knowing
what
I
the
wanted.
Bible calls lukewarm.
I was beyond lukewarm, but my skin, I don't know what that was. But so I just want to challenge you, men, is to prepare yourself for the person you want. We talked about this before. Don't expect the woman to be perfect unless you can become that person for her. That is the most important thing, is becoming the person for your spouse, for your future spouse, that she is going to fall in love with. And so that's incredibly important, because things when you get married get harder.
My friends told me once, I was complaining to my friends saying, "Why haven't I found the woman of my dreams?" And they said, "Because you haven't become the man of hers."
Yep.
So I want to encourage all of the men out there. We're not preaching at you. We've lived this.
I'm still going through it,
We're
man.
men on this journey. We're continuously being better. We're not the Paul brothers that have a horrible relationship. We're not the Tates who, have a decent, amazing bond as brothers, but we don't necessarily agree with everything they say. A lot of what they say is actually really good. But the spin that we're creating on this channel that's different than everybody else's. We're saying we want to be holistic: mind, body, soul, and spirit. Every area of life for men, saying no matter what background you come from, there is a better path. The path of least resistance is the path of pain, suffering, and ultimately death. You have to go through hard things to become the best version of yourself. If you're not willing to do that, keep watching our channel and you eventually will.
We're never going to put on a facade.
No,
I want
this
you guys.
is who we are.
This is literally who we are. We
Yeah.
could go out for a drink and watch football.
Yeah.
And this is who we are. We're funny. We're not that funny.
I mean, my name does mean laughter, but yes.
Yeah. But we have a good time, and we want you guys to be part of our journey, because once we hit the 100,000 subscribers, us and the Viking who's not here, I know you women are weeping.
I know, it's
we're gonna
hard.
eat a Carolina.
All of the older women are weeping.
We're gonna eat a Carolina Reaper pepper. So we're gonna have a lot of fun, guys. So join us on this journey. Subscribe, but we'll see you on the next video. We have other videos right here. But
Thanks for being here, guys.
let's
Appreciate
go.
you.
Let's go.
Peace.